today I'll be introducing you about the Telltale Heart. This is my teammate. My name is Boon, and that's Kashan, and that's Kevin. And now I'd like to play a song to bring you guys into the situation of what is happening in the Telltale Heart. Yes, it's very scary, you know. Yeah. And now, okay, since you guys are already back into the situation, right? And now I'd like to call my friends in and act part of the scene that happened in the Telltale Heart. Shall we? Right, and now Kevin and Kashan will be acting as a police. Yeah. And I'll become the murderer. There will be a bad man. Right, so let's start. Oh, who's there? Oh, who you guys, man? Hi, can you see?
It's police officer.
Who's the police at the same time? Oh, yeah. So, what brings you guys here? I was having a sleep.
Oh, the neighbor complained that we heard the sound. Then disturb.
What sound?
It's heard a really loud thud on the floor.
It must be me. I felt loud just now. Oh yeah. And by the way, actually, I didn't stay here. It was an old man who stayed with me, but we went out to have some fun and enjoy his life.
Really?
Somewhere over the rainbow, I can't tell. Can you see? And he give it all his best to me like his headphone. That's his treasure. Oh, yeah. So now I'll be acting as the murderer talking to himself. This is a self-talking. Okay, it's okay, don't worry, guys. So when the police is here, the murderer actually heard the sound beating. He believes that there's an old man heart beating. Now this is an example. I'm not sure if I can hear it, but it definitely sounds like. Can you please make a sound? Again? That is exactly how it sounds like. Now let's continue. Guys, I really don't know where it will go, okay? But it must be somewhere. Yeah, so at this moment, when the police smelled to the guy, which is me, the murderer, I actually felt triggered. How can you smell at me like that when I actually killed someone? No! Don't smell! No. Then I'm gonna come back here and say, don't make me angry, and now I'm gonna tell you, I actually did it. I killed the man, okay? I killed it!
Yeah, man.
I did it because of his eye. Now, take him. Arrest me.
I take you.
So, guys, that will be the end of the story. Thank you, guys. Let's put you guys into the situation. How serious it is. Now, from that acting, you can see the murderer actually sometimes he looks fine, but sometimes I think he's still me. He's a bit short-tempered. Yeah. And now let's move on to our main point. The background information. Well, this story actually was published at 1843. This sounds better. And it actually published by an American writer known as Edgar Allan Poe. He was also an editor and literary critic as well. He's known best for his short stories, especially for the Tale of Mystery and the Macabre. I think this is because he actually suffers from a bad childhood because his family actually is broken and he used to be an orphan. and he actually have a parent who didn't adopt him, but treat him as his own son. The next slide. Thank you. And now I would like to tell you the short story about it. And first, now we'll go to the first one, exposition. Right, so the poet introduced with the story with the very first sentence, true nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous. So what does that mean? He was telling that the narrator is really nervous. He's a very nervous guy. But the author tried to make him that he denied that he's mad, but he denied he's mad to make him a better, to make him more guilty and more psychotic. And then he started telling how did the old man eye bothered him and become a motive of killing the old man. Yeah, and then now we go to the rising action. So the rising action is when the narrator watched the old man sleeping for 7 nights long. Guys, can you guys imagine that? When you're sleeping with a guy who's going to kill you for 7 nights long, that is very, very creepy. Yes. And finally, the 7th night, the narrator finally find a way to kill him because he actually makes some noise and wake the old man up. Next one, thank you. And now we come to the last part, not the part, but the climax, the peak of the story. Right, the climax is when the narrator actually killed the guy through suffocation. Look, he's an old man and he got suffocated and died. Dude, that is very inhumane, okay? Right, and then he chopped off his limbs, head, everything, and buried him under the floorboards in his house, in his own house. And now let's go to the falling action. Right. Now, the falling action is the scene we acted just now. The police came into us and started to investigate me, and of course, we try to act calm because we don't get caught, you see. Yeah, and that's the falling action. But it's only come until the next slide, please. Until he started to hear the old man heartbeat to get louder, louder, and louder. And this is the time he break out his temper and confess his sin to the police. And that's how he get caught. And that's the resolution of the story. Next one. And now I'd like to tell you guys a theme. I'm sorry for this, it's a bit ugly because I actually invert some font, but it's not there, so yeah. Continue. This is the heartbeat sound I'm trying to tell. You need the theme right. Next one. Actually, this is the beating of a sound. Trying to make it into words. Yeah. Right. Now I'll show you guys the evidence and the explanation. So these are 3 evidence here. The first one, and I have not tell you that what you mistake for madness is, but over a not of a cent. Okay. Now this is my explanation. The narrator trying to deny that he's actually mad and try to blame it all over on the over acute sense. But I will ask, a normal human being, would they actually have all these oversensitive sense? That is impossible. Now, this is also a sign that he's actually descending into a madness. So now the second point, he tripped once only. In an instant, I dragged him down to the floor and I put a heavy bed on him. I smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. So my explanation would this be, see, as I say, he described himself as a nervous man. But from this sentence I have read, I think he's actually enjoying killing the old man. Then you see, everything is like a flow, you see. He killed him, he can smile. It's like, can you smile when you kill someone? Would you feel guilty? Guys feel me? Yeah. And now let's move to the third point. The night waned, and I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I disassembled the corpse. I cut off the head, the arms, and the legs. I will ask anyone who is actually with a sense of humanity, would you guys actually kill someone and cut off his limbs? That is, bro, out of the world, bro. Right, which is why I relate it to the demon, descent into madness. And now I'd like to pass on the slides to Kevin, not Kevin, sorry, the uncle, the dead man you can see. Yeah, we actually have a higher voucher. Right.
Thank you, Boon. And just as mentioning the theme of the short story, and now I'm going to talk about the literary devices related to the short story. Now, 3 literary devices used. The first one is symbolism, hyperbole, and imagery. And now I'm going to talk about the symbolism of the short stories that related to the theme. So, what is symbolism? Symbolism is a symbol that can represent an idea of abstract. And the symbol can be words, objects, or shapes. Like, for symbol description, we can use, when we see Miss Sarina, we'll think about English lesson. And when we see the pen, we'll think about homework. Okay, now we'll be moving on to the first evidence, and it's I of voucher for the paragraph 3. So what do we think when we see the words of voucher? For me, I think that it's death and decay. So, as we know, voucher is scavengers. So scavengers eat dead things. So essentially the death of the theme of the story. And this is the eye of voucher, as you can see. When I connect with the voucher, you are foreshadowing the death is coming during the stories. And now we move on to the beating of the hideous heart. Okay, although the narrator had killed the old man without any mercy, but from a deep heart, as a human being, if you commit a crime, you will feel guilty. But so the narrator ignored the moral value by describing the heart as hideous to make him feel better. And the third evidence is I admit the deed. So it symbolizes admission of guilt. So although the narrator killed the old man, but he refused to admit it. However, the police arrived. Suddenly his head appears, the beating heart of the old man appears to his head. And the beating heart convinced him to admit the guilt. And from his mind, the humane side of the narrator also kicked him to admit the guilt. And the next slide, please. Now I'm going to talk about the hyperbole. So what is hyperbole? Hyperbole is the use of exaggeration as a rhetorical device or figure of speech. So as you can see from the picture, it's zoomed in, it's a sense of exaggeration. Okay. What's the evidence one? The evidence one is I heard all things in the heaven and the earth, and I heard many things in hell. So it portrays the narrator mindset have both sides, good and bad. So we describe it as heaven and hell. But the narrator chose hell because hell is more attractive than heaven as it took over the narrator mindset. Like for example, in our real situation, we have homework or game, we will choose game of course, because game is more attractive than homework. Yeah. And now I'll pass the presentation to gameplay to talk about the second evidence of the hyperbole.
So thank you, Haoyang, for mentioning about symbolism and hyperbole. So now I'm going to proceed to evidence 2. I knew that sound well too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury as the beating of the drum stimulates the soldier into courage. So it means that the narrator was triggered by the old man's heartbeat, which, look at it, is exaggerated. Like, how can you even listen to the old man heartbeat? Like me listening to your heartbeat. Like, unless you're using the stethoscope like the doctor. And I'm just assuming that he's just going crazy and he thought he has some kind of god power that he can hear the heartbeat of the old man. And beating of the drum, which describes the soldier, and is a sign for the narrator to start to kill the old man, which is a sign for him. Evidence 3. So it was the low slitted sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with O. So the narrator felt the O from the bottom of the soul, which he started to go crazy because the fear of him wanted to kill the old man started to sneaking out from him. So as you can see, first of all, can you even feel anything from your soul? No, right? You don't even know whether soul exists or not. So his craziness is just completely overtaking him, that he's just going and losing control. He's just losing control of him. Just feeling everything bad happening to him. So now I'm going to talk about our third literary device, which is imagery. So what is imagery? Imagery is a visually descriptive or figurative language that we usually use in a literary work. Let's move on to evidence 1. So, he had never given me insult. For his goal, I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. So, the author is not desire for the goal, instead it was the eye. So, his goal was the eye, which, just now Haoyang mentioned that it was the eye of the vulture. So, from the eye of the vulture, he can be done by killing the old man. Like, the goal can't even stop him. Like normal people, you definitely go for the goal, right? Instead of the eye. So let's move on to evidence 2. Above all was the sense of hearing a cue. So this portray an image for that the author's acuteness allow him to make better judgment to justify his plan. So when he see the eye of vulture from the old man, right, he already think of many ideas to how to kill the old man, then he started plotting it. So last evidence. I myself in the wild audacity of my perfection place my own seat upon the very spot beneath which repose the corpse of the victim. So the author's confidence and enthusiasm made him feel as thought he had perfectly his plan. So he thought that his plan was not going to fail, like 0% at all. So he started overconfident that he put his chair on top of the dead body and sitting on it while talking to the corpse. So now I pass the presentation to Kashin to talk about our last part of the presentation.
So can readers today relate to the key theme in this text? I think it's fair to assume that most of us can't really relate to the descent into madness because it's not exactly a normal thing. Throughout the entire story, the narrator likes to describe his desire for the eye of the vulture. Like we talked about how he chose not to take the gold, but only the eye of the vulture. Through this desire for a specific thing and only the eye of the vulture, he likes to justify his actions to tell himself like it's for my own self-gain. Rather than doing it for anything else, it's for my own self-gain, so I can justify killing the old man to gain the eye of the vulture. And we can't exactly relate to the key theme through the descent of madness, but we just can relate to how he makes decisions based on his perspective. It's not easy to really justify killing anyone, but with enough willpower and a sense of self-gain, the need for gain, it's fair to assume that you are capable of killing anyone to gain the specific for the narrator to gain the eye of the vulture. To put this into more simpler terms, we tend to make decisions day by day, and unconsciously or consciously, regardless. We have a sense of moral perspective or ethical perspective. To most of us, it's fair to assume that we wouldn't rush to kill anyone. It's just that we were taught to not kill, to not steal, but in certain ways, like how the narrator describes his desire for the eye of the vulture, especially in this evidence, I threw open the lantern and leaped into the room. He shrieked once only. An instant, I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. I then smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. This describes how he has justified his actions and has gone through the plan. Even though the plan might have changed or been tweaked a bit, he still carried it out because he himself justified it's okay to kill because it's for my own self-gain. Next evidence. And this also supports my point. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what simulation I went to work. Through his planning, the narrator likes to portray a sense of confidence, where he will stop at nothing to gain his pride possession, which is the eye of the vulture, which is another example of how he descends into madness. Next evidence. And finally, object there was none, passion there was none, I loved the old man. So this really proves how far he's descended into madness. As much as he loved the old man, or how much compassion he felt for the old man, his self-need and self-gain drove him to kill him just for one single prized possession, which was the eye of the vulture. which further justifies his entire theme, which is a descent into madness. Oh, these are the references.
Guys.
Any question?
Any questions?
My name is Janu. I have a specific question for Hao Yang. As you mentioned in the evidence to the symbolism that you say that he feel better after killing this, but in the end he didn't feel better, but he just only revealed the old man. But why?
What's the question again? What's the question?
You say like after he killed the old man and then you felt better, right? But in the end he didn't feel better.
That's a good question.
You want to answer?
For the evidence, I've mentioned that the old man, no, not the old man, the narrator have heard of the heartbeat from the dead body. So, you can see that the heartbeat have convinced the narrator to admit the guilt. Does it answer your question? Yes.
I think it's more of the fact that he noticed what he did, and through his moral perspective, he feels that I did something wrong, and through his guilty conscience, he feels that he should admit to his deed. So it's not exact because we are all taught to, not to kill, and then he did kill, and then he suddenly felt, oh, I should have done this. His guilty conscience, hence he chose to admit his deed.
Yeah, what he did. Okay. Any question, guys?
In America, some regions consider euthanasia as an legal or illegal act, even though it's controversial. Do you think that euthanasia is an act of murder? Will you feel guilty when you are the one who is performing it?
You mind repeating the what? You what again?
Euthanasia.
Indonesia. It's like,
Yeah, inject something to kill someone, but he's the one is at the end stage of the cancer, cancer.
I think it's still unethical because unless given permission to, then it's fair because it is signed in black and white. But if you were to do it while the person is in unconscious or in a coma, I don't think it's very fair.
But according to my econs teacher, utilize the resource. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that's definitely.
Any more questions?
Okay, your question.
Thank you.